Gospel.
South Jersey, don't you dare touch that dial.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The hits start in 5, 2, 1. Hashtag Gospel with Supa, Steff, and the squad.
Oh my goodness!
So wait, you got a small and a big turkey?
Because I was gonna just get turkey, and then Ty was like, "Yo, give me a regular."
You know we're live now, right?
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Y'all gotta have your headphones on, man.
I just turned mine on.
Ain't no real friends out here, yo.
Hey,
You do it to me all the time.
Ain't no
Supa
real
Steff.
friends.
It's the Birds of Plain. It's me. Hashtag Gospel is what you're listening to right here on We Have Gospel. Shout out to everybody listening on 88.7 FM, 100.3 FM. WeHaveGospel.com, the We Have Gospel app. And watching on Facebook.com/HG Squad. Shout out to everybody. We've been getting a lot of feedback for the shows lately. We've been getting a lot of feedback lately, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been watching and who has been listening. Even though everybody's views are different. Some people have been agreeing with me on things. Some people have been disagreeing.
It's not
with me on
about
things.
agreeing with you. Stop it. It is about having the conversation in general.
Let me say this. Okay,
I'm about to
last week when you saw the show, literally it was me.
It's still not
and
about
everybody else on the show disagree with me. When
didn't
you're in a
disagree
conversation, when you're in a debate
There was
with
no debate.
people who you have 3 people in the room who are debating with you. One person,
There was no debate.
right? You have to get your thoughts out. So that's why
That's not what I'm talking about.
That's why I was cutting people
That's
off.
not what I'm talking about.
That's why I was cutting people off last
That's
week.
not what I'm talking about.
I was cutting people off last week because if I didn't cut them off,
That's not
I
what
would
I'm
have
talking
forgot
about.
my thoughts. And when you have a bombardment of all around you of different people saying that you're
we
wrong,
ain't even
you
intro the
gotta
show
you gotta
yet.
get your thoughts out in order to keep the debate
That's
going.
not what I'm talking
So
about.
that's why I was cutting people off.
That's not what I'm
Because
talking
I was
about.
like, I'm one person representing this one stance, and everybody
That's
else.
not
is on
what I'm
the other
talking
side.
about.
What are you talking about?
Yo, we ain't even intro the show yet, bro. What are you talking about? Why is my
Man.
mic so low? First of
What
all,
are you talking about?
What I'm talking about, and don't make me come across here and smack you.
You know she will. Stop
What
playing
I'm
with
talking about is that what's most important is that the conversation is being held, that people are getting their opinions out, that the conversation is taking place. That's what's more important. Don't make me come across this table.
Well, I'm saying it's easier when y'all were here last week, and then it was Ely, and all 3 of y'all agreed. So everything y'all said supported each other.
He was kind
I'm
of
not
on your
even
side.
talking. I'm not
No,
even.
he was not.
I'm not. Listen.
Go watch the tape.
It don't matter about who was right. I'm not even gonna say who was right and who was wrong. I'm not.
I was right. I'm just saying.
Here we go.
Yo,
I'll say it.
It's
Everybody's
not
opinion
about.
could ever
It's
be
not
right.
about who
It's
was
your
right
opinion.
or who was wrong. The most important part of this is that the conversation is being held because
This is
too
true.
many people aren't talking.
This is true. This is very true.
Get
This is
him.
what this show is all about. That's why we do this show. We talk about stuff that the
Jack
Saints.
him up.
We talk about stuff that the Saints might
Nah,
not talk
boy.
about in public. They might talk about it at the cookout. They might talk about it at Denny's after church, but they're not going to talk about it in public. This is what this show is all about. My nickname for this show is
Lydia,
the Cookout
you better
Show.
get your brother. Stop laughing at him.
My nickname for this show is the Cookout Show because we talk about stuff that the Saints
Show.
don't talk about in church,
Show.
in public.
The
You know what I'm
Cookout
saying? So, but the Saints
In
still
the
talk
dead
about
of
it.
winter, it's still the Cookout Show. though.
Yes.
Show.
Yes.
And so, that being said, first I want to say this show is sponsored in part by Hawks Family Businesses, serving our communities
Show enough.
and community. I'm sorry, serving our customers and community for over 30 years. And Beacon Hall, turning moments into memories. Make sure that you go out and support these businesses because you need to, because they're going to help you out. If you need something cleaned, if you need your place cleaned, if you need your business cleaned, hit up Hawks Janitorial. If you need to move some things, if you're moving to a new house, moving stuff, hit up the Hawks Moving Services. If you need to have an event and you need a venue, hit up Beacon Hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of Beacon Hall,
we just had the joint last night.
I'm so
It
mad I
was
missed
amazing.
it. I saw your video clip real fast where everybody stood up. It
Yeah.
was like, yo, I was like, oh my God, it's crowded in there.
Hey, for the Facebook people who are watching, I'm going to play the video for you later on during the show so you guys can see it, okay? The video of everybody.
You know, I'm going to tell you why it sounds right, because I talked to Miss Elaine either Thursday or Friday, and this area is infamously known
Talk about
for
it.
doing everything last minute. So when I talked to her, I was like, you know, how's everything going? She was like, well, you know how it is. They're going to talk about, they're going to buy their tickets last minute. And sure enough, like the online sales just went crazy the last minute. So I was kind of shocked. What in the world?
Davon's a copycat. Can y'all hear me?
Yo, I was
we can
just
hear you.
hungry.
Davon
I was
is a
just hungry.
copycat. He brought subs in.
Conversation.
When I brought subs in, you know I got
Yo,
you know I
I
got
was
shady.
just hungry.
P2 brought us
Whatever.
some food. Shout out to P2 for bringing
Man,
us.
No, shout out to you because I am about to have me a piece though. So
Yo.
I was just hungry. Yo, we haven't really
sorry,
started
y'all.
the show.
I
He
can't hear
didn't intro
myself.
nobody. Nothing happened yet. He's just talking about
the
topics.
stuff is wild, man.
So anywho, that's why I was surprised, because not surprised, but I was like, wow, a lot of people did show, because when I talked to her earlier, it was like they were still waiting for, you know, people to do what they do.
Word.
You know it's
yeah,
gonna happen.
and guess what? It turned out that it was packed out for Jermaine Dolly. Jermaine Dolly did an amazing job. He really ministered. We're going to have him on the show definitely later. We're definitely going to get him on the show. I talked to Tim about that yesterday.
Okay,
Definitely
that's
get him
what's
on. And also, I really enjoyed the poet. She's actually coming through today to hang out with us for a little bit, to say what's up. And I really enjoyed her. Eddie Smith Jr. That was the joke that I did. That was the joke that I did. Eddie Smith Jr. He did his thing, and afterward, because his name was so close to Eddie King Jr. Is it Eddie Kane or Eddie King? It's Eddie King Jr. From the 5 Heartbeats. I went on this whole tangent after he got done
I'm hugging
acting like
Solana
he
right
was.
now. I'm related to why because I love her.
Oh my god!
I love her.
But what I am gonna do as I open this delicious grilled cheese.
Oh dear Lord, him and his grilled cheese.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to run down these topics to y'all, and y'all tell me what y'all want to talk about. Okay? So this lady named Deneen Borelli, claims that not standing for the national anthem is contributing to racial division. Do you agree? Disagree? Also, Katie Hopkins says that British actor Idris Elba can't be James Bond because the character is meant to be white. Also, what would you do? The show on ABC, they just did an experiment where they had an actor do 2 different things. One time they had him go into the restaurant with a Make America Great Again hat, and they had the restaurant owner come up to him and say, "We're not going to serve you unless you take off the hat." And then they did the experiment again, but this time they had the actor come in with a impeach Donald Trump shirt on, and then they had the manager come out again and say, "We're not going to serve you unless you take that shirt off." And they got different responses from people who didn't know that this was an experiment,
Right.
And people around who were paying attention. And I was
Shout out
surprised.
to Lydia Purnell. She says she's hungry. Come on by.
Hey, girl, that's my sis, girl.
And also, I have some generic topics too. So, when it comes to life, is it better to be ambitious first and then try to find a spouse later, or is it better to prioritize finding a spouse first and then go to your ambitions?
You need to preface that by the conversation that took place.
Please,
though.
some headphones,
Okay,
please.
so Megan Good's husband said that a lot of men are out here trying to be ambitious and make it before they find a wife. And he said what you need to do is be trying to find a wife out here, because your wife, if anything, can become your partner and help you accomplish things that you need to accomplish.
Who's her husband?
What happened?
He's a pastor.
He's a pastor. I forgot his name already. Devin Franklin. There you go.
Shout out to him.
So
he's cute. So I know his name.
She's cute. Shout out to him.
So I'll tell you what I want to do first. Let's see. Is not standing for the national anthem contributing to racial division? That's the question that I want to ask. Is not standing for the national anthem, because you know that your football season is starting. Is not standing for the
Sorry, y'all, I'm a little turned up. I don't know what's going on.
Is not standing for the national anthem contributing to racial division in America? Is it or is it not?
Say that one more time.
Is not standing for the national, is kneeling for the national anthem contributing to racial division? Is it causing division amongst America?
I don't know, but I can tell you in high school I never stood for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Wait, before we get into this, can we go to a quick commercial break? It's getting ready to be a mess in here.
Why should I?
Just go to break.
Okay. We're going to go to a commercial break. And you know what, guys, what I'm going to do? I'm going to play that video for you guys while we're going to do that. And we'll come back and we'll talk about the topic, okay? Beyonce in the building.
Praise him.
Lady TY.
Hey.
The real P2.
It's your boy.
Supa Steff. We'll be back after this.
Praise the Lord, everybody. This is Deacon William.
Your feet real quick, make some noise. Come on, yo. We bringing Jermaine Dolly out here, yo. This is how we do. But we have gospel comedy, and we have gospel concert series. We have gospel jazz. We bringing you all the events. I want you to stay on your feet and welcome to the stage. This man, you know his music. He has the hit song, You. He has his hit song, Come Knock on the Door. He has the hit song, I Will Always Serve. Make some noise for my man, Jermaine Dolly. Where you at? Here we go. Where you at? Hey. Where you at? Hey. Where you at? Hey. Where you at? Hey. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
It's more than music. It's ministry.
South Jersey, don't you dare touch that dial.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The hits start in 5, 2, 1. Hashtag gospel with Supa Steff and the squad.
We're running out of headphones. I ain't gonna lie to you. We're running out. They're breaking. We need some more donations. We're running out of headphones over here, guys. Supa Steff is yes. I just went live just now. Supa Steff is the birds playing to me. Hashtag gospel, what you're listening to right here when we have gospel. Shout out to everybody listening on 88.7 FM, 100.3 FM.
No problem.
We have gospel.com. We have gospel app, and watching on Facebook.com/HG Squad. Beyonce's in the building.
Hello.
And Lady TY is running around here somewhere, and the real P2's in the building.
Yup.
And Ely, he's walking into the building. I see him walking in right now. And we have a special guest here.
Hello. Monet Monet.
And if you could introduce yourself to the people.
I am Monet Monet, Mr. and Mrs. Hawk's niece from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
All right. Monet Monet to the building.
Can you not?
And I'm eating this grilled cheese. It's
Can
good.
you not? Can you not? Can you not? Can you not?
It's
Can you
good.
not? Can you not? Can you not?
What you want me to do?
Can you not? Can you not? Can you not?
Look here. Anyway, let's get back into this topic. This topic, and Monet Monet's gonna do a poem for us too, later on in the show. So y'all stay tuned for that.
You see, he's copying my style. He bought subs.
Yo, chill. I was just hungry.
Like he could have
Your
bought
towel
pizza.
was like, you should have been on this.
Like he's copying my style, but I ain't mad though because I'm eating it. So thank you.
Oh, son,
So-
see, in my seat.
Here's the question. The question is not kneeling for the national anthem contributing to racial division in America? Go.
Go ahead, Ely.
And we have the owner and founder of WEHA, Sister Elaine Hawks, aka Lady Praise, in the building. Is not kneeling for the national anthem contributing to racial division in America? We had Deneen Borelli go on TV and say that, and she was coming at LeBron James and all the people in the NFL and everybody. Do you agree? Disagree?
Do I agree?
Bougie.
Yes.
I know you agree. I know you were going to agree.
You know I agree with what?
With what she said, that it brings racial division
in America.
No, racial division is brought by racism. Like, I'm
yeah,
black,
but
I'm black and I'm a veteran, right? Me personally, I stand because it means something different for me. I've been across that water. I've seen things that most people don't see. But I also understand the point of view of the athletes, because the initial argument was never about the national anthem or it wasn't about the anthem or the troops in the first place. It was about bringing awareness, right? So they use their right, but they also use the right that we as soldiers fight for that First Amendment right, the freedom of speech. So I get both sides. It's racists who bring attention to racial division for that whole protest. So, you know, my point of view is a little bit skewed. It might be a little bit too deep for the radio, but, you know, you had me pegged wrong on that one, P2.
I knew you were going to agree. You agreed, just not all the way in. You're like on the side of the pool with your feet in. Just hanging out with your feet in, man.
How you feel about it, Steff?
I think all it does is just bring the crazy people out of the woodwork into the spotlight. That's what I think it does. Because at the end of the day, they didn't mean to disrespect the flag. They're not trying to disrespect the flag. What they're doing is they're protesting. And what happens is people completely overlook what these people are protesting, like it doesn't even exist, and goes right for these what did President Trump call them? Jack A's?
No, SOBs.
I'm sorry, SOBs and all that other type of stuff.
This is the thing about it. It's just people make opinions based off of ignorance. So if we're going to talk about disrespecting the flag, it needs to be talked about on both sides, right? Per the flag code, holding the flag horizontal and not vertical is disrespectful to the flag.
Exactly.
Right? Furthermore, this could have been all mitigated by this could have been mitigated by the NFL. The NFL's position should have been, we're not even going to touch this subject to begin with,
right? And
just allow the peaceful protests, right? So it's not about the flag. It's just, you know, it's people's opinions.
It's about people wanting an excuse to be racist, but not call it racism. Because the bottom line is, they saw
who didn't stand.
They saw black athletes kneeling, and automatically, again, just like Ely said, there are so many ways to disrespect the flag that they don't even recognize. They disrespect the flag. They were disrespecting the flag in NFL way before people were kneeling for the national anthem. But all of a sudden, when a black athlete kneels, now it's a problem.
It's not even just that stuff. It's paid patriotism. You realize before 6 years ago, the national anthem wasn't even sang in the NFL? That I was a recruiter in the Army. So I never tell you what I hear, only what I know. The United States government pays for that promotion as a recruiting tool.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about patriotism, because the moment that they stop paying that contract is the moment they stop doing the national anthem and putting the flag on the field to begin with. But people don't understand that. The people just that's why social media is such a gift and a curse. It's a great way to disseminate information to people in a fast period of time, but it's also a great way to disseminate the wrong information to people, and it gives people who would not have a voice to voice their ignorance. And a lot of times people just look stupid when they spew their points because they're not supported by facts.
I get it.
They're supported by opinion.
I get it.
Thoughts or feelings.
I get it. Well, so everybody's in agreement on that topic.
What was agreeing? I wasn't in the
This
room.
is a rare occurrence. Okay.
You must be excited.
Well, moving on. We had this
Disappointed
young
you can't
lady.
yell at anybody.
We have this young lady named I don't know if she's young. Katie Hopkins
Oh my god.
says
Yo, even if she was old, she could have been a young lady, bro. She would've been
Right,
cool.
right.
You know what? I'm looking at her hands, and I'm not sure if she's young or not.
she says that British actor Idris Elba cannot play James Bond, not because he's black, but because the character is meant and written as a white guy. It's meant to be white. How do y'all feel about that?
How do
I
you
don't
feel
have
about
an
it?
opinion.
Because I can hear.
I don't even know who James
I can
Bond
hear
is.
the.
I can't even.
I can hear the controversy in your tone. How do you feel about it?
Oh, you want me to go? You want me to
Yeah.
go first? Want me to go first? I think her tone was all wrong because at the end of the day, yeah, James Bond was written as a white guy, but back in those days, every character was written as a white guy. So don't come around and act like we're trying to blackwash everything and jump on a bandwagon because we can't come up with our own characters. It's not about that. It's just that for so long there was such a monopoly on all the great characters because the only characters that were allowed to be written as black were the stereotypical characters. I mean, you could go back and you look at even old Disney cartoons, old Looney Tunes, and you saw nothing but derogatory images of African Americans in those. You know what I'm saying? So how can you turn around and have a problem with the fact that people are, and it's not just like Idris Elba's just like trying to take over James Bond. People are starting to say, oh, he would make a good James Bond. You know why? Because their eyes are starting to open up and realize, oh snap, black people can actually do things like that too. Wow, how about that?
No, Steff,
so yeah,
this is
yeah.
This is what I got
Now,
out
please retort.
of what you said. There's a difference between having derogatory characters and us having progression and coming from that, and then having a character that is based on a white person.
Okay.
Right? So, yes, we're in the age
Why are you salty?
I'm not salty yet. I'm not salty yet. I'm waiting.
We're in the age of advancement. But I asked all the people who are upset, and I asked Steff this in our group chat the other day. How would you feel if Black Panther was played by Ben Affleck? It's not the same. That character was meant to be black. And just because something is white or just because something is black doesn't mean it's wrong. See, my personal opinion is I feel like we yearn so much as a people.
It's the reason why.
But this is what I'm saying, Steff.
It's the reason why it was meant to be black. It's the reason why it was meant to be white.
Let him finish.
Exactly.
We're gonna have a black Batman one day.
And it's
gonna happen.
It's okay. At the time, does anybody know what year James Bond came out the first time?
Nope, I was old enough.
It was in. Oh my gosh.
Hold on, I'll look it up.
Please
And
Google
Professor
that.
J said something about it in our group chat as well. That was enlightening. But for that time, for James Bond to be a believable character, he was meant to be white. Now, how you perceive that lady's message, that's on your perception. That's
Was he meant to be white for that time period, or are you saying just in general?
The character James Bond is meant to be white. And I asked him too, I said, how would you feel if Robert Williams was casted to play Shaft? We need to stop being so sensitive all the time.
It's not about
James
being
Bond is a white
Adam
guy.
Sandler played
And
Billy
before this lady said anything growing up,
1963.
exactly.
Yeah,
What time?
1963.
Now, before this lady said anything, none of us had a problem growing up as a kid saying, I'm Bond, James Bond.
Right.
And he was white as
He
all
was
get
white.
out.
Right.
So why we need to have a black Bond?
It's not about needing to have a black Bond. It's about the principle of the way she approached it. It's about the principle. Like I said before,
Because she spoke
don't
her
sit
truth.
here. It's not
Okay, but wait.
no.
Okay,
She
but
doesn't understand.
wait. And not arguing either side of this because I personally don't care.
Mm-hmm.
However, I did see something else on Facebook just either yesterday or today where a guy said, and I don't know who the guy was, and he's some guy who commentates on stuff all the time. And he was talking about the Idris Elba blonde thing, and he compared it to kind of like Ely, where he said James Bond cannot be black, just like Doctor Who cannot be a woman, because that's just not how the character was. Doctor Who was never meant to be a woman. I ain't offended.
I'm offended by the attitude in which she gave that message. Again,
okay, I'm turning back on you. How would you feel if they said George Clooney could play Black Panther?
Again, I say, because I was never able to finish this point. The reason why Black Panther was made to be Black Panther was very different from why James Bond was made to be James Bond.
So what you're doing is justifying why it's okay for black to be just black, but why we should be inclusive in white.
No,
that's what it sounds like.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, back when racism was really, really more prominent over the film industry, TV industry, everything like that. Again, it was like unfathomable. How do you say it?
Unfathomable.
There you go. For a black person to be in certain roles, because the powers that be were racist. So they wrote all these roles as white people, not because they wrote all these roles as white people, not because they literally needed to be white, but because they only wanted them to be white. They only saw them as white. Black Panther is literally an African king. That's a very big difference from having a double agent who's supposed to be just a double agent.
James Bond is a British agent that works for the Crown.
All right, well, our
we just got into
so we can't have that in 2018.
What's the lady's name? We just got into the palace in 2018.
So we can't have a British agent. So we can't have a black British agent.
Well, we just got a black princess. I mean, you got to give them the shot.
Let me ask you a question: How many black Brits you know anyway?
Oh there goodness. I actually know 3.
Well, Idris Elba's one, right?
Right, exactly.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, our guest has a comment.
Our guest has an opinion. Hold on.
How it works is whenever you want to say something, just jump in.
Steph gonna yell over you though, but we got it.
Y'all know I got a poem. I got a poem for everything. Mm-hmm. So y'all brought up this topic. Mm-hmm. I already got a poem for this.
For Idris Elba?
No, we talking about race. Well, we talking about race. We're talking about race, and that's pretty much what it's underlying. So I have something for y'all.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's called Black Lives Matter. Black lives have been categorized to nothing more than a number, awaiting the day to tally up our deaths. We're stereotyped because we're people of color. Black lives matter. Tell that to our women who are constantly being battered. We are told to call the police, but to them that we're nothing more than a number. So they take their time getting to our residence because according to the system, we're not that important. Black lives matter because we make up the system. We're the only race living below poverty who needs a program and assistance. We hold so much power, but we don't know how to use it. So instead, we kill each other, letting the enemy find amusement. If you really want to matter, pull the wool from over your eyes. Stop focusing on your color, speculation, and the lies. Start making a difference. Let your reason for living make sense. Be the change you want to see. Break loose of the bondage so we all could be set free. Black Lives Matter.
Snaps. Mad snaps.
On that note, we're going to take a break. I want to let you know that this show is sponsored by Hawks Family Businesses, serving our customers and community for over 30 years, and Beacon Hall, turning moments into memories. We just had a great event last night at Beacon Hall, up close and personal with Jermaine Dolly, and it was also featuring this wonderful poet right here who did her thing, as well as Eddie Smith Jr., and we had a fun time.
King.
Huh?
Not Eddie King.
Not Eddie. What you want me to do? We had fun. We was laughing last night. We had fun. Mm-hmm. And it was packed out, so thank you for supporting. And the next event is coming really, really soon. And if you want to do an event at Beacon Hall, hit them up, because you can have a birthday party or a musical event or a wedding reception or anything at Beacon Hall. It'd be a good look to use it. So make sure you check it out. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about some more topics. All right. So Beyonce in the building.
Praise him.
Lady T.Y.
Hola.
Ely.
If you believe in this black bond, you might be supporting that fair-skinned Jesus.
Not so deep though. Look at Steph's face. Steph, you're a clown.
Monet's in the building.
Hey.
And the real P2's in the building.
Hey, what's happening, man?
We'll be back after this, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
WEHA, Port Republic, Atlantic City, and now on FM translator 100.3 W262CF, Atlantic City, Pleasantville.
It's a new day.
Christ-centered, community-focused, listener-supported, Gospel 88.7 FM, WEHA. We have gospel.
Hawks, a name that has been trusted for almost 30 years in the janitorial services industry, is proud to present Hawks Professional Moving Services, fully insured, local and long distance, packing services, commercial and residential, no job too small or too large, friendly and reliable services. For more information or a free estimate, 609-484-0452. Hawks Professional Moving Services, where we treat your belongings like our own.
South Jersey, don't you dare touch that dial.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The hits start in 5, 2, 1. Hashtag gospel with Supa, Steff, and the squad.
All right.
Do you want me to read that comment before we go to anything else?
Sure. Super Steff is the birds of playing. It's me. Hashtag gospel, which you're listening to right here on We Have Gospel. Shout out to everybody who's listening on 88.7 FM, 100.3 FM. We have gospel.com. We have gospel app. And watching on Facebook.com/HG Squad. And Lady TY is about to read a comment that we have.
Marvin Burrows says, movie makers see how we responded to the box office with Black Panther. Bond at the box office has suffered. Hence, let's have a black Bond to make money.
Exactly. So there's nothing wrong with having a black Bond.
So you said it's about principles.
No, we're going to another topic, man. Chill.
No, I just got a quick question.
Hey, Lee, you want to go?
That question's
Let's go. You said it's about principles.
Let's go, Lee.
So if you agree with that topic, then it's okay for our blackness to be exploited for the sake of Hollywood to make money.
He didn't say that, Ely.
No, that's
he didn't say exploit the blackness
because
he
that's what it is.
No, he said give a black man a chance. That's what he said.
If white Bond is not selling, and they're gonna change it to black Bond,
change the black Bond. Because guess what? We are actually making money. You should have had a black Bond a long time ago. That's what he's saying. That's what he said.
That's not what he said at all.
That's not. He didn't say what you said. He didn't say what you said.
Well, I'm asking you because
Mr. Burrows in a second is going to comment to clarify.
The reason I'm asking you is because if we need to, let's make money off of a black Bond. It's not because they want a black Bond for the sake of seeing a black Bond. It's to make money. So essentially, that is exploiting the blackness to make money, much of like a lot of things in entertainment in the U.S. So is it okay to exploit our blackness for the sake of making money versus the principle of just having a black Bond because James Bond could be black and it's the right
What is your definition of exploit?
What do you mean?
What is your definition of tell me, please. Because is giving a black man a job exploiting him per se? Please tell me.
Sometimes.
Please tell me. In this tell me. So are we exploiting Idris Elba if we give him that job?
Who makes the royalties? Who makes the money off of this film? The same people who own 007 now. The only thing that changes is the actor. So it's not like it's not like the director is black. It's not like the creator is black, but we put a black actor there to make the money, to draw revenue from a crowd that showed up and showed out for Black Panther. Now we get a black Bond.
Right.
You appease them. You've now exploited that blackness to fill pockets that don't help our community. Is the reason being to make money, or is it because we care and the mindset
of course
has changed?
I know that.
Mr. Burrows is clarified.
I actually got another comment.
Go ahead, we got another comment.
William Deacon Hawks, aka Elder President, texted me and said all black men couldn't be Bond, but Idris Elba definitely could. His British roots, his diversity, and his depth will elevate the character.
Thank you.
I can do it.
And guess what? It might. Listen, you might think it exploits his blackness, but it also brings his brand to a higher level, and that's blessing a black man.
So here, all right, I'm just gonna stop saying Marvin Burrows because it's just too much. My dad responded and said it's all exploited, hence Crazy Rich Asian. He said it's all exploited. They exploit everything nowadays.
All I'm saying is, again, it's nothing wrong with having a black Bond. I don't think that's why I don't agree with that lady's stance, because I feel like her saying there's something wrong with having a black Bond is completely asinine.
So
and I think that
is this the same guy that
think
played
that
in
it's
The
not
Wire?
the same thing as
came a long way.
having an African
Came
king.
a long way.
Can I play the devil's
Go
advocate
ahead.
one more time?
Go ahead.
So the word teaches us that, you know,
And my dad says, "Thank you, Eddie."
Eddie?
Pops.
Really?
So with that, right?
Right.
The word teaches us about what Jesus looks like, but it also says that we
was
were
already
made
there.
we
I was
were
already
made in
doing
His
that.
image.
I was already doing that, my brother.
Is it all right for
Absolutely
white
not.
Jesus?
Absolutely not. Let me tell you why. Because you're white. You know why? Absolutely not. Because the same reason why they had a
But
James
the word
Bond
said
that
He
was
was
never
made in
black.
our image.
The same reason why they made a Bond that was white all this time, and now they having a problem with actually having the thought of having a black Bond is the same reason why they whitewashed Jesus. When Jesus is from the Middle East, there are no white people.
How many times you been to the Middle East? Because
Let me
I've
tell you
seen a
something.
few.
Let me tell you something. Jesus was never a white person. You cannot hide a white baby in
Yes.
Egypt.
You're trolling.
You're
at
trolling
this
for
point.
real.
Let it go.
He's not trolling. He's doing it. I know what he's doing.
It's
You cannot hide a white baby in Egypt. And again, the same reason why they had a white Bond is the same reason why they had white Jesuses all over the place. Bottom line, it's the truth.
So if they had a black Jesus, would you be cool with it?
Of course I would, because he was black.
Jesus was not black. He's from the Middle East. I've been there. I spent 5 years over there. I ain't seen nobody that looked like you.
Of course, they don't look like me. I'm not saying that they look
black,
like
right?
me. Okay,
You have a
but what I
skin
am
of bronze
saying, and all right,
and hair of wolf.
listen. Hold on. Now I was speaking. If we're going to get technical and educated, I will get educated. Okay, listen. He is from the Middle East. I get that. He is Middle Eastern. He's not black per se. He is a man of color, though. Thank you. Okay, he's a man of color. He's not white. That's what I meant. Hello. Are we
James
are we
Bond
mental
is
midgets
white.
today? Are we
I'm
mental
not a
midgets?
man.
Mental midgets?
Are we mental
Wow.
midgets? We know what we was talking about.
We might need to go to a nurse.
James.
Yes, please. I'm
Bond is
looking to
white,
see
yo.
what it is. I'm trying to segue.
He was not a man of color.
I don't know what it says.
Who was not a man of color?
James Bond.
James Bond is a fictional
Okay,
character.
listen.
Yo.
What is he
Moving
talking
on.
about? Anyway,
All right, yeah.
Anyways.
All right, I'm done messing with stuff.
Ely wants to go. Ely wants to go. This is the next topic.
Get yourself together.
Excuse y'all while he drinks the water.
Just don't burp in the mic.
The next topic is should you pursue ambition first, or should you pursue getting a spouse first? What should be on a higher
What do you
priority
mean?
on your
Ambition
list?
as in what?
Ambition as far as your
Give-
career
give
and everything in your
pretense.
life.
For me,
Okay,
well,
once again, there was comments that were made by Devon Franklin, the husband of Megan Good.
could we
who
hear?
said,
Do you have it?
I don't have
Where
a
was
clip
it at?
of that.
Can I play it so I can actually hear it?
Find the clip.
Where
Find
was
the
it
clip
at?
for sure. But he said, in a nutshell, he said, a lot of guys out here, they're working so hard to try to get where they want to be in life and get the right career and everything before they get the one. He said, if anything, you need to find you a good one, because that's the one that's going to help you get to where you need to be in life.
But he was talking to the men.
Why you can't
I
have
think
both,
that has
though,
a
and
lot
have
to
a
do
balance?
with your personality. Because for me personally, I don't need to find anybody to help me get the things that I want in life. It's a catalyst. It'll help. But sometimes it could be a distraction.
But what's the priority?
He's tripping.
What's
See, he got the good one, and she
tripping?
got the bag already. So
She is a good
he's
one.
not speaking. To he's not speaking to the general person. He's not speaking to the typical dude.
I mean, like, personally, I can speak for myself. Like, with that. Go ahead. Were you gonna say something, Steff?
No, I was going to ask him a question, but you can go ahead. Hold on.
Well, with the whole ambition thing, I want to get my master. Well, not my master, my bachelor's before I get married, which is in 2 years. But that's
You
like
getting married
that's
in 2 years or
ambition.
getting your bachelor's in 2
I want to
years?
get married. I want to do both in 2 years. I can't wait too much longer. Why was I so silent? I want to get my bachelor's in 2 years, and as soon as I get my bachelor's, then I'll get married. But I need to focus right now. I'm still getting my master's, but I want to have something accomplished, get a good job.
Now this is what I can say to caveat off of what you're saying. That is a.
Oh yeah, clap it up for my man.
In the world, I thought he came in here with a sugar baby.
What we doing out here? What we doing?
I left my debit card in here.
So,
Tal, pull up a chair. Mike is over there.
So, that's a tough one, Steph.
Okay.
Beyonce has a good plan, but all the ladies out there, the caveat off of what you're saying, you hear it, you see it on social media all the time. I want this, I want the family, I want the house with the white picket fence, whatever. But as long as you are mastering yourself, male or female, when that time comes and God says yes, he's going to put you together so that way you're in sync. So when you're getting your master's B, it's not just your educational masters, but you're also mastering yourself. Because if your ambition doesn't meet, if you achieve what you call ambitions and you get to be with someone who isn't just as driven as you, it might not work. I can tell you that from experience. Right? So it's one thing to achieve the things that you want, but then to just settle down and not meet someone who's just as ambitious as you, then
I mean, I know one of my reasons is because I'm like super busy. What's going on over here, Ty? Ty came in with like barbecue chips, hers. Yes. Anyway, you know, like when I get here, I want to be able to give my attention to my husband, so I don't want to be so caught up. Because school is for me, like I have to put a lot of my time, a lot of my effort into my schoolwork.
Write your papers for a price.
Nah, I like writing.
There's a comment. Yanni Calalori, I think that's his name,
what
right?
up?
Pursue God first, then let the chips fall where they may.
That makes sense, but I mean that doesn't really speak to your ambitions.
And why you can't just do both? Why can't
I think do what you feel. If you want to get married first and then follow your ambition, that's up to you. I think it's to each his own. That's how I feel about it.
But that's what I'm saying. It depends on who God puts in your path. I was married for a very long time, but I am way more ambitious than my counterpart was. So when you include a family into that mix, because that's what happens, you get married, you start a family, your ambitions haven't gone anywhere, but then you're limited, and there might become distinction or there might become animosity towards that person because there's a cap on your ambitions. So that's why you have to find someone, and if you can travel together, that's fine, but to have one before the other, it's counterproductive.
Well,
but see, that's what I was saying before we went on the show. Keep in mind, for women, it's kind of different. For women who want to be in certain areas of their life, because for women who want to be in corporate America, they feel like we as women feel like you got to be careful because corporate America it's getting better, but it's still a man's club. So women tend to feel like I have to be ambitious first and family last because at some point I'm going to get married and my husband want me to have a child. And I'm going to have a child. And then that's going to put a cap on what happens to me in corporate America. Because in corporate America, they're looking at you like, she's going to have a kid. She's going to take time off. She's not going to be as dedicated anymore. So for women, it becomes different. We look at it like we got to get our careers and everything in order first. And then family last.
And you know what's crazy about that?
His mic is not on.
I don't envy women for that. You know why? Because the real fact is, the world and society teaches us that women have the juice, but that's not the truth.
Famous Jay-Z, excuse me, what do you say? Honestly, at 23, I be into my work more than I did she.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You done made me forget my point.
I'm sorry, Ed. My fault, man. My fault.
He was saying,
but what I'm saying is, I don't envy you guys because you guys have to make a distinction. Because realistically, women outnumber men 3-1. So you see your peers settling down, you're chasing your ambitions, and women can have any man in the world that they want. That is a fact. You can go out and you can find a man that'll entertain your time. The difference is the man chooses his wife. So while you're chasing your ambitions and women are getting chosen, that's a balance that you have to juggle.
And it's not an easy balance. So that's why I was saying it's...
Yeah, no envy here.
You say the woman chooses?
No, the woman chooses to date whoever she wants. But when a man decides that you're my wife, the numbers start to get slim.
I see.
The ratio is 3 to 1.
But that's what I'm saying. It becomes
Understood.
even harder because you go through, you get to a position where as a woman you want to pursue your career, and then you hit 45, almost 50, and you look back and you go, okay, I got a great career, but now everything else is limited. Like having kids is limited.
Quick question.
Having a husband is limited.
I got a quick question because I don't know if y'all saw this, but can y'all hear P2 pulling these cups out on the mic? It sounds loud, but you should see him pulling the cup so slow as if the noise didn't change.
Yo, it wasn't on the mic. It was just in your ear because you had a headphone on.
Oh man! If y'all listening, I wish y'all could have saw that. P2,
my
the
body
mic was
movement
all the way
so
over
slow.
here.
Body movement so slow. Body movement.
All right, well, look, can I get the juice then?
Which one you want, darling? Which one?
Either one, since y'all put it on pause.
While he's reaching for the juice, I can testify to this. I was very ambitious before I met my wife, before I got married, but I will say this. After I got married, like, with all the ambition that I had, doors that were actually closed in my face started to open once I got married because of the fact that she, like, helped my character improve so much and, like, helped me so much in areas that I needed help in, that it made me a better person even in my ambition. That's just my testimony, though.
yeah, but that's good though because God put you in sync.
Right.
God put you in sync, right?
Right.
That I got married at 19, right? I was so ambitious to where it's like, okay, she's a house person. Y'all know me, I'm not a house person, I'm a people person. My ideas are far beyond me. So then when it's just like, no, I don't like this or don't do that, when you don't have someone to support your ambition and matches your drive, you can start to feel like you're almost in captivity.
Check this here. It's better to have somebody, a spouse. I know for me, I can testify again. For me, a spouse who's into a lot of the same stuff I'm into, so that we can go together. We can go, like, I think that's the same thing with Devon Franklin. Like, they're both in the movie industry. Like, we can go and get it together, because if you have somebody who's not anywhere in the lane that you're in, it's going to be this person's over here and you're over there, and it's going to, I mean, I'm not saying it can't work, but I know that if my wife wasn't into the same stuff I was into, I would never see her because of the stuff that I'm always doing. Like, but now it's like we do it together. Everybody knows us as the Fifers now, like, because everywhere she go, I go. Everywhere she go, you know, did I just say that?
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, she go. There you go. That's what I meant to say. But yeah. So
everywhere you go, she go.
I don't know if I could have handled it either.
Like
if I was in your position where I was really, really crazy ambitious, always going, and she's never going with me. That's how, honestly, that's how I was able to tell who was really the one or not.
I think again, to each his own, because I know certain people that
works for.
Yeah, like the wife, I'll say the wife in other sense, is home all day.
Yeah.
And the husband is to go get her. Like,
I don't know. You even look at Deacon Hawks and Sister Hawks. They go get it together. Like they
I don't always, no, I want this for me. I want to go get it together. But I'm saying there are people. People that do that.
I understand what
you see one, you see the other. They getting it together.
So speaking
it's
of
hard
Deacon
to have
Hawks,
one
you must
staying
have
at
talked
home.
him up. He said, "How can two walk together except they be agreed?"
Yeah, I understand what Lady TY is saying. I think it's an age thing as well. Like, if you're on the same age, like, say if the male is substantially older than the female, maybe he would want those things a little earlier. But if the woman is like young, like Lady TY is right, they do go seek that career first before even getting married. They make sure financial is set first before they move anywhere forward. But
say it again.
Like if it's an age difference, I think it's like if they're the same age, I think it matches. But like, say if you're 8 years older or 9 or 10 years older than a significant other, like that female is trying to get her career established and stuff like that, like at age 23, rather than a man who's like over 30, he already seen it all, and you know what I mean, he's already ready. But you know, she's probably would be into her work more at a young age. So I think age is a factor, and I think also, like Steff said, careers and interests are a factor as well, right?
I agree. Okay. Yeah,
careers, interests, age. I'm sorry to play devil's advocate. I have nothing to do with
somebody please turn
ambition.
That
Because I can say at 32 years old, I don't plan on slowing down anytime soon. I think I'll be just as ambitious when I'm 60, 65, if I feel like I haven't hit my ceiling as I do right now.
So you need somebody who's going to go with you and be at your side.
No, I need And they don't necessarily have to be with you, and they have to support what you're doing, understand, and you have to be in agreement.
I know, but that's annoying to never see. No matter how supportive you are, it's annoying to never see your spouse. It's
Nobody
annoying.
said never see. That's the spin that you're putting on.
If they don't fit into your lane, and you're always going in your lane, how they going to see you?
Because you make time for the things that are important to you.
I mean, I use my mother.
Let me break it down to you.
That's
Steph.
ideal, but it's not realistic.
No, let me break it down because people don't understand time. Everybody has seen this tattoo that I have on my hand, right?
Okay.
No.
I got this tattoo. This tattoo. It's a clock with 72 hours on it. I got this tattoo because my employees at my store, they always complain about time. I had a strict rule that to work for me, you have to be doing self-improvement. You have to be going to school, some type of certificate program, because I want like-minded people. What do people always say? I don't have time. There's not enough time. Out of 168 hours in a week, 40 hours is a normal work week. If you sleep like the doctor says, it's 56 hours, right? That leaves 72 hours. What is everybody doing with the additional 3 days in the week that they say they don't have time?
I think everybody likes to act busy. I think
when
everybody likes to act busy. I want to work out.
When you're ambitious and you account for your time and you make time for the things that are important to you, 72 hours is enough time.
Now let me ask you a question, or not. It's not necessarily a question. Your definition of setting aside time might not be your spouse's definition. So you think, oh, because I set aside 2 hours on Thursday, that's enough to satisfy her, and it might not.
The
brother.
part that you missed from what I said was, if you and your spouse have that agreement, if your schedule lines up with her needs, that's why I said that you guys you don't have to travel the road together. But if that's what works for you guys, then that's what works.
You're
3 days, Steph.
I'm sorry, but being ambitious means that you're going to be more like, what do you call it? You have to be flexible, okay? And a spouse having to be flexible with that, like, it could you could work out some type of thing, some type of arrangement, and then that arrangement could easily change when you're being ambitious.
Yeah,
it can easily change.
You're right, but that's why communication is key. But being ambitious doesn't mean that.
You just admitted and said that it didn't work for you last time because you were very ambitious.
Because I had the wrong partner for me. No, I said I was married. Now there's a lot of other things that go on that went into that. But what I didn't know at 19, that our drive wasn't the same. And what I did say is, after a while, after playing good dad, good husband, I want to do these things for my family. Not being me and being able to follow my ambitions made me feel as if I was in captivity.
I think isn't ambition and drive like ambition and drive though? That's like a little, like you can have ambition, but if you don't got the drive to go along with it, you know what I mean? If everybody's drive is on a different page, then
I think we're using the word ambitions like with goals.
Yeah. Like it's like what you wanted, like, you know what I mean? You mean drive, right? No?
I think if you're ambitious, you have drive. That's how I look at it. It's either you're ambitious or you're not.
Well, ambitious is kind of like I want to have it. It drive is doing it.
Here's another thing. If she's supposed to be a helpmeet, like the Bible says, then she kind of has to be in your lane.
I beg to differ. I'm sorry.
She kind of has
and I'll say this from just my own experience, like for like my family being in the music industry, like that. First of all, music is very time consuming. So I've seen with my mom or even my aunt that's married to my uncle, you know, he's working all the time and she's more home with the kids, and they have two different, you get what I'm saying? And she's not doing anything, you know, anything with music or anything. So that's why I kind of have like a different perspective on that with the ambition thing, like being in the same lane. She's my Aunt Joy. She's not really. She's not the type of person that want to be on the scene and stuff like that. Where my uncle is more on the scene. So I think it's kind of, I don't know. I have a different perspective.
And it has a lot to do with personality stuff. You know, some people just don't like the same things. Doesn't mean that you're not meant to be together. You don't. Me personally, if you're with me, if anybody's listening, if my other half is out there and God is sending you my way, I am not the type of person to where I cannot be with you 19 out of the 24 hours in the day. Me personally, I need my space. That's what I require.
That's the truth.
And some people are like that. See, you and your wife have a good thing that works for you guys. If you spend that much time together, that's great. But me, I know that sometimes I get hot. Get off me. Or sometimes I just need my time. And often throughout the day, it's just me, personal time with God. That I don't want to talk to anybody but Him. It has a lot to do with your personality.
Well, even if you have even if you have ambition and you have a drive to do something, and say, you know, God brings you.
I just gotta watch how.
Just tell her to move the cup, bro. She used one.
When God brings someone into your life, or a man finds you, no matter what your drive or ambition is, that person is supposed to add to whatever it is that you're doing. So even if you're grinding, whoever comes in your life is going to add to whatever you're already doing. So it's not like you're losing if a person comes into your life, because if they're meant for you, you're going to do nothing but gain. That's just my perspective.
But I think that's what what's his name? Devon, whatever his name is.
Devon Franklin.
Yes, I think that's what his point was. I don't think he was trying to say. I don't think he was trying to say, before you do anything, get your wife or get your husband, because that doesn't make sense.
Right.
Because if God is bringing someone to you, he's going to give you the person who's going to be best for you.
Right.
In that time,
which
as well.
is technically what
in the
you're
right
saying.
time.
If you marry the wrong person, then that's when you get the clash, and you don't walk together. But at the end of the day, and listen, not for nothing, like Supa just was talking about Deacon Hawks and Miss Elaine. Listen, I've worked with them too for 3 years. They do go the same way, but at certain points, they also do other stuff, but they always manage to come back. That's the difference. What are you doing? They always come back. So it's based on who God puts in your life. Like, he's not going to give you somebody who's going to go against the grain with you. So,
well, I mean that's where knowing who God has for you is important. Like,
right?
Is this the one you have for me?
19. I tell you what, I didn't know.
I bet.
A couple of comments. Yanni says, it's not enough time if her love language is quality time. Lydia Purnell, ain't nobody in the house getting 19 hours alone. Shoot.
But that's my no,
Lydia is out the hook.
I agree with love languages too, because different things mean different things to different people. I agree with that, and I also agree with Lydia saying that ain't nobody getting no 19 hours alone or anything like that. That's why I'm saying again, I think it helps if you guys are kind of in the same lane. You don't have to be, but I think it really, really helps if you guys are in the same lane. That's all. I really do. And I think that Elite, if she is really helping you, you're not going to get that feeling of, I need my alone time. You know what I'm saying? Because she's
absolutely right.
You know what I'm saying? Because she ain't getting on your nerves, and she actually is adding to your.
That's not true. It has to do with your personality.
I very much agree with that, because I'm the same way.
me personally, I can sit in here with the radio with you for 24 hours. Right. And we could be in the same room. But during that 24-hour span, there might be a period of time when I'm just like, and not to be rude, Steff, don't talk to me. Because it's just my quiet time. That's just my personality.
Yeah.
I don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I'm with you.
But I put
had a boyfriend, I would be like, stop. Okay. This is not the time.
But I put it like this. If I know that at the end of the day, and there have been people on this show where it was like, okay, now you just got to go. You just got to go because you ain't gonna work. This is just not working. You know what I'm saying? There is a such thing as that. And
so what's your point?
My point is. So my point is.
That was kind of left field, bro.
No. I was saying it to say that
I was trying to follow him.
Listen, you always
let him finish.
No, there's a such thing as okay. This is just, you just need to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I understand. There's a very big difference between get up out of here and, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and have my little alone time for a second. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think the way you're describing I need my alone time is as serious as you describe it. Like, okay,
how do you know that
it's
though?
Pretty serious.
Everybody wants to have a little bit of alone time. Everybody's going to have their little me time, but it doesn't mean I can't read that. I can't see that at all. I have glasses.
So is it, Ely? So is it like I'm gonna go chill with the fellas, or is it just like?
No,
I was just about to do a commercial break.
Like what do you say? You going somewhere? Like how do you get alone?
He just want his own space.
How do I get alone?
Mm-hmm.
I say, don't talk to me, please. This is my alone time. Now I might go for a walk, or but the person that I'm with, right? They understand of me anyway that, okay, this is his time when He's gathering. I have so many thoughts, and I'm in so many different directions.
That's why my dad had an
full-time
office.
job.
He be in his office all the time.
I have my music ministry.
That's his escape, Joe.
He be in that office all day.
I own my sneaker stores.
You need a man cave.
And with all of those things that I want to see what God has for me and expand, my mind is moving pistons all the time. Right. So I require alone time so I can process all of those things. Right? Because for me, the difference between a dream and a goal is when you put a plan to turn your dream into a goal. It's no longer a dream. You put a plan in action. So I do a lot of planning in my alone time. I might sit there, you might think I'm staring off into space. But I've literally just had 1,000 thoughts at once.
So that was your alone time, baby.
Okay, so we just had a comment. I'm sorry, that's Hal J. Jacqueline Dillon. Excessive alone time is equivalent to selfishness. The point of relationship is to relate to another.
And Jacqueline, that's why
Go to commercial.
I disagree.
Go to commercial.
Commercial break right now. Look here, we're gonna let that marinate. We're gonna let that marinate. We're gonna let that marinate. We are not together, Jacqueline. We're gonna let that marinate. Do not swipe right on me.
Yo. Look, this show is sponsored in part by Hawks Family Businesses, serving our customers and community for over 30 years, and Beacon Hall, turning moments into memories. We have to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to dig deeper into maybe this and maybe something else. We'll see. Beyonce in the building.
Praise him.
Lady T.Y.
Hey.
Tal J.
What's up?
E. Lee.
Leave me alone.
Monet.
Hey.
Y'all gotta chill, man.
The real P2 is in the building. We will be back after this. Keep it where you got it. Your feet real quick, make some noise. Come on, yo. And we bringing Jermaine Dolly out here, yo. This is how we do. But we have gospel comedy, and we have gospel concert series. We have gospel jazz. We bringing you all the events. I want you to stay on your feet and welcome to the stage. This man, you know his music. He has the hit song, You. He has this hit song, Come Knock on the Door. He has the hit song, I Will Always Serve. Make some noise for my man, Jermaine Dolly. Where he at? Here we go. Where he at?
Station, New Mount Calvary Baptist Church, or call 609-909-8729. That's 609-909-8729. Enjoy a slamming soul food buffet, door prizes, and good fellowship. That's the 19th annual Soul Food Gospel Fest, Saturday, September 15th. Come feed your body and your soul.
South Jersey, don't you dare touch that dial.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The hits start in 5, 2, 1. Gospel with Supa, Steff, and the squad.
Super Steff is the birds of playing. It's me, hashtag gospel. What you're listening to right here on We Have Gospel. Shout out to everybody listening on 88.7 FM, 100.3 FM. We have gospel.com. We have gospel app and watching on Facebook.com/HG Squad. Beyonce in the building.
Praise him.
Lady T.Y.
Hey.
Tal J.
What up?
E. Lee.
Kingdom.
Monet.
Hey.
The real P2.
Yo.
And we're coming back. Did anybody have any last words on this?
Nope.
No?
Even
Somebody got nothing to say about the fact
Lady
that
T.Y.
because I also kind of agree with her that, but then again, everybody has different love languages. Because my love language is quality time.
I think it's
Guess what?
Listen, Sister Jack, you know I love you, but I think it's actually selfish for you not to want me to have my alone time.
Oh.
That's selfish too. I mean, you know if that's important
What's
to
your
me.
definition of alone time, though?
What if it's reading my word alone?
When
What
is
if it's praying?
And when is your alone time?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have
Yeah,
like
but
a
it's
set
not
alone
like
time.
he said my alone time is every day, 24 hours a day. Listen,
Right.
I'm not mad at him. Sometimes you need the alone
You know,
time.
it just doesn't
I had
sound
an
good
ex-
coming
I
out of
had an
somebody's
ex
mouth. It just
who
doesn't
used
sound
to, I would try to leave to go get alone time, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm going with you." I'd be like, "Good God almighty.
Right.
I need a minute. And what happens is you get mad and then you take it out on that person because you're like trying to get a minute to yourself for your own thoughts, for your own peace of mind. I don't think there's anything wrong with being in a relationship and still wanting alone time. I don't think that you need to sit underneath a person 24 hours a day. If that's what you like, then go for it. But everybody doesn't need that.
And that's why I was giving a reference to like my father. He had his office. My dad was always in his office doing his work, and that was his alone time. So I think it don't have to mean leaving the house. It could be going into another room or something like. Yeah.
I could be like, you can sit in the same room with me. Just give me some time. You ain't gotta talk.
I don't want you in the room with me. Jacqueline.
She's married, happily married.
She is married.
I don't mean like me.
I know, but I'm just saying.
What I'm saying is, it's just as selfish, right? If you are with your significant other, knowing that's what they require, and you want to be around them, just that. I mean, it's. You have to give what that other person needs.
Right. That's what I was saying.
So,
I'm on your side.
Why are you over here though? He was reading my mind. You knew what I was. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Sister Key. I'm calling from Pleasantville.
All right. What you got to say?
I was going to say that a long time in that selfishness. There is a point that it is selfish, but it doesn't have to be a negative selfish. Like people have to get what they really need to, when they're not alone, that they can come to the table fully. So if that alone time allows them to come back to the table fully, that alone time is probably good.
There you go. See, I'm glad she.
I'm glad you say this. Thank you. When you're not alone, if you put the people in your life in position that they have value, they are sure that you love them and care for them, and then they won't be bothered by your alone time.
Yeah, positive selfish. I like it.
Because it'll be something that you need, and then maybe some steps togetherness is maybe your newlywedness. And as you start to grow and mature, you start to change and you'll start to separate, not in a negative way, but you may pursue other goals, other dreams, other desires than your spouse, but it doesn't mean that you can't still be connected in a wholesome way.
Okay, I 100% agree with that. Actually,
I agree with that.
That was a great way to break it down.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your call.
All right, have a good day.
How about you
too? Thank you.
Oh, shout out to her.
All right, so we have Professor J in the building.
So I don't know if we have enough time for. Is my mic on?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have headphones on, so
You got
for what I'm about to
20
ask,
minutes
but it's just like so. Just listening to the conversation, do you guys think that sometimes hobbies for alone time can have a negative effect on the relationship? Whether this is a girl who's out shopping way too much, or a guy who's
playing Fortnite.
Playing Fortnite. Yeah. So I just want to hear you guys talk about it. I just want to hear opinions.
Leave me alone.
Do you think it's what?
Like
Wait, what is it? So what's the initial question? Like,
can it be detrimental to a relationship when a hobby is your form of alone time, but they don't get it? Pretty much.
I don't think. I think it goes back to actually what Sister Kia just said. As long as that person feels, loved, cared about, and so on, then I don't think. I mean, I think how you spend your alone time is up to you. I may like to shop. You may like to play video games.
Just don't overdo it with the video games.
What is overdoing it?
See, stuff like that doesn't bother me.
What is overdoing it? We must know.
Well, you can't be on it all day long.
Well, Davon, let's talk about it, though, because a lot of guys will sit on the video game for 10 hours straight.
10 hours?
Legit.
Legit. About
now you said Grand Theft Auto. I can play 6 hours easily.
And how many girls would go shopping for like 9-10 hours?
I mean, I like to shop, but after that long.
Right.
Talk about the girls you read about. I don't know nothing that you're talking about.
Yeah, because I'm not on the video. I'm in and out. Exactly. I'm barely out for 2 hours. Right.
They'll be buying up.
We got a caller. We got a caller.
Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
This is Sister Jackie Dillon.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
First of all, I just want to make this disclaimer. I am not saying that alone time is not imperative. What I am saying is excessive alone time can be selfish.
I knew what you were saying.
And if you're saying that you want a significant other and you're spending a lot of alone time,
Right.
then you're not relating to that person.
Right.
That was the point I was making. Unfortunately, texting doesn't allow your true meaning of what you're saying to come forth. But that's where I was coming from, because, I've been married for a while now, and I do understand that you do have to have your personal time. I'm not under my husband 24/7, just like he's not under me 24/7. Life goes on, and you have to live life. But excessive alone time, that to me is equivalent to selfishness, due to the fact that it's just about what you want to do and not maybe what that other person wants to do. That was my perspective on that.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, well,
Thanks,
thank
thank
you.
you, Jay.
Nobody got nothing to say? Everybody quiet around here?
Ain't nobody got nothing to say?
We're going to let Ely comment back.
Why you want me to comment?
It was all messy. That's why.
Because
Y'all messy.
Because the thing about
Y'all messy.
What she's saying is valid, but what I call my personal alone time isn't excessive, and the level of excessive is based on subjectivity, your subjective opinion, and not what's
That's true,
going
too.
on in my relationship. Just because I may require literally an hour or two of alone time a day, to deny your partner of that too, knowing that it's what they need, is also selfish. It's just something that's in me. I cannot help it. I need to be able to process my thoughts by myself.
Now I will say
for an
this.
hour or two a day.
Also, depending on, I kind of get like what Jared said about like the hobbies and stuff. Like it really depends. I mean, what are you doing when you're by yourself? Like, where are you at? Like, those are actually valid questions. Like, if you're at the gym, if you out with your boys every night, that's not really a long time.
That's not a long time.
It depends.
That's not a long time.
That's not a long time, and that's not a hobby.
That's not a long
That's
time.
just you out with
Sometimes
your
I might just
my
need to
alone
know.
time might be the fellas, though.
That ain't a long time. Dude.
That's not. You're not alone.
Somebody might identify it.
Alone time means away from you.
But where you at?
See, don't put a twist on my alone time. That's
But it could be
P2's
taken like
alone
that,
time.
though.
Wait.
Sister Oz got something to say.
Yeah. Hey, y'all.
Oh, bye.
So for me, I would say alone time is not necessarily needing to be out of your presence, but alone time for me is just time where, and I can understand where you're coming. My husband and I run several different businesses. We have a lot going on at all times, with our family, with the businesses. So for me, alone time is simply not so much that I need to be away from him, but I need to be in my own zone. What is your own zone? So that's what you guys are talking about. Shopping, Fortnite, I guess. I'm not really into that. I don't know. But everyone has their own definition of what they need to do to get to themselves, to get their minds together. For me, I love music. My husband already knows. I put my headphones on. I'm now in my zone doing what I'm doing. But that's my alone time. And he's sitting right on the couch. But that is my alone time. For him, he plays golf. Not Fortnite, but he hits
Same
the
thing.
ball. He does that. But again, that's his alone time. We have 36 years under our belt. So those methods have worked for us. And we're with everyone. We're with each other all day. We work together. We live together. We parent together. We grandparent together. We go to church together. So we're like up in each other's face 24/7 all the time. So I know, sometimes he needs his alone time from Elaine. So, I don't trip out if he plays golf every day. Go do, what is it, 18? 18 holes? Is that what it is?
I hope he's
Nobody
driving
play
at the
golf?
park.
Gotta go.
But he does his golf, and I do my shopping, here and there. I do it. But it's all good, and it's mutually understood between both of us. I respect his way of getting his alone time. He respects my way of getting my alone time, and I think that it works good for both of us. Right.
See?
Well put.
So your alone time can be with the fellas.
So your alone time is kind of what you identify it as, in a sense, right?
Exactly.
Right now.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own.
A lot of it has to do with trust too, and how your mind works.
Young
Yeah.
man here, like he said, and it's very important, whoever his significant other is, okay. So I know a couple of people who recently got married, and like within, they're already breaking up. I'm like, wait a minute. Did you take the time to learn this person before you said I do? Because it's 6 months later and, you're ready to. So I'm saying with this young man here, if someone is dating you, they need to know all these things about you so that it don't become married. And she's like, I didn't know that he needed
10 hours. I didn't know it needed an hour of day.
Right.
When you're doing your courtship, when you're just learning someone, it's important that you know them things. Therefore, when you do go into marriage, you already know what is required, and
You
the
hear
same
that?
goes.
You know who you
the
are.
same
You hear
goes
that?
for her. He's the person that needs that time, and that's important in a
She said-
relationship. You have
she
to
just told
respect
me
each other. I mean, if that's what it is, if that's who you are,
Amen.
that's who you are. But you have to respect that if you're in a relationship, and that's how a relationship goes for 36 years. Respecting each other's space. You
hear
have
that?
to.
Your wife
Gotta do
is
it.
talking. That's why I did not read your message.
That was for Deacon Hawkside, I'm guessing.
You know,
He knows who it was for.
there's somebody I know that's watching that needed to hear that. Amen.
Deacon
Look at
Hawk
God.
says, honesty in the relationship will help avoid craziness. We're both individuals that happen to be 36 years of marriage.
Yeah. Man. I lost my thought for 2 minutes. I can't stand it when that happens to me.
It's the Marvel shirt.
Is that what it is? Man. Oh my gosh. I know what it is. So again, I definitely understand alone time. Me and my wife have alone time, but we need to understand the reason. We need to understand the why. We need to understand the where. We need to understand the who. We need to understand all that about the alone time.
You know the difference, though?
Because
you the type of people I need alone time from. Don't ask me. I just want to be alone.
It's not that.
Leave me alone.
It's not that simple.
Wait,
let me tell.
Steph,
let me
what
do
you
it.
just said though. Like you need like.
Why do you need all that?
Is your wife say like, yo, I just need some alone time?
Bet. Let me
Like,
tell you
need to
why.
know where she
Let me
at,
tell
who
you
she
why.
with, and what she
Let me
doing.
tell you
I
why.
mean, it can become sketchy. I think
There's
if
a
you
big
just
difference.
blatantly leaving a house every single day, like I need a long
Listen
time.
to what
There's
y'all
a
saying.
that can become sketchy.
Let Steph say what he's going to say.
There's
before
a
he gets his
big
hands off.
difference between alone time because it's just regular and alone time because there's something wrong with you. And they're just not addressing the issue. And I've experienced, of course, regular alone time, but then there was also a time when it was like she wasn't talking, and I didn't even know. I was just assuming it's regular alone time, but it was really something wrong with her. And then I had to find out later on, like, oh, she was really feeling some type of way.
Did
you know what I'm saying? Eventually I did, because eventually it was like, something off. But it's like, this is what I'm saying, like, if you need to understand the difference, is what I'm saying.
No, you need to understand the difference. There's a difference between.
Because I'm asking early.
Me too. There's a difference between alone time and leave me alone.
Go away.
Yo, Steph, why would you wait to ask?
And leave me alone.
Steph, why would you wait to ask?
You can
Why
tell
would I
somebody's
wait to
acting
ask?
funny.
Yeah.
Because at first I didn't notice that it was funny.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's because
And
you just like that though.
No, we was doing our regular things, but
Okay.
but then it's like when we're doing our regular things and we're having our regular alone time, it's like
No, you said our alone time.
because our alone time. When she's off doing her, I'm off doing me.
That's
Alone
not
time,
alone
alone.
time. That's work.
That's not work when we're in the house.
You said off.
She's in the living room
He's in
on the
the
couch, chilling, doing her thing. I'm in the bedroom with the headphones on, listening to music. I love
That's
music
what I'm
too.
saying. You can't quantify somebody else's alone time. Some people actively watch TV.
You're
You don't know what
going
they're thinking
somewhere
about.
else. You're taking it somewhere else.
Okay, so let me clarify that alone time. Alone time doesn't just mean being separate from you, Steph. Alone time means that time to where you just have to think and reflect.
I
on the things
understand
that. You're
that. That's why I just said when she's off doing her and I'm off doing me, it's not like we're necessarily away from each other. She's over here doing her and I'm over here doing me. But it was her doing her for a second because she had like some type of like different thing going on. Like she had a problem. You know what I mean? Like she's worried about stuff and stuff was, and I had no idea. Is what I'm saying.
So then you just know. I mean, at that point, you just got to know when something's wrong, rather than
exactly.
when,
and so I'm saying it's a slippery slope because if you're not communicating, you could slip into I'm having a alone time. You're thinking it's fine, and this person actually has like a problem. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like a balance in communication.
You have to balance. I'm going to tell you why.
But we have to acknowledge that. Is what I'm saying to you.
I'm going to tell you why. And my lady friend that I'm involved with, right? And I hope she's listening.
She listening.
We go through
You're
this, right?
my lady.
Right? The thing about this is where the blow up comes. Even if that's the type of alone time I'm on, some people need time to process their feelings. If there's a disagreement, if you interrupt and invade my alone time,
True.
Then that argument comes that was not meant to happen.
True.
Because that alone time hasn't been respected.
True.
You understand?
I'll
what
give
I'm
you
saying?
that. I'll give you
So it's one thing to understand the difference between alone time and leave me alone. But even in those times, you have to really think how you're going to, if you do have a problem, how you're going to navigate that problem, because you don't want to blow it.
Well, here's a question for you, since we're going there, and with the little bit of time we have left. How do you navigate leave me alone?
You respect it. Because if somebody tells you straight up, no, check it. If somebody tells you straight up, yo, leave me alone, that is a sign. Yo, leave that person alone. Because right now, if you're not ready for the conversation,
I know nobody talking to me like that. That's what I do though. You're telling me don't leave me alone.
The wrong way. That's not what he means.
Okay, good.
That's not what he's saying, and I understand what you're saying, because when somebody says "leave me alone" or "I need a moment,"
It might make things worse though.
It might. No, what makes it worse is if I say to you, "This is not the time. Leave me alone," and you go, "But," when I turn around,
who said I'm going to say but?
Listen. What's going to come out of
I
my mouth?
I love you.
What's going to come out of my mouth?
Baby,
after
baby,
that,
baby,
it's not going to be. It's
That
not going
works.
to be nice.
I tried it.
No,
But I would just, in other words, I need some
Come on,
time right
please.
now. Ain't nobody telling me leave me alone. I'm not your child.
I'm saying that sometimes they say
I'm just-
it's
that's
over when
what
you
y'all
stop
said,
fighting.
though.
Sometimes they say it's over when you stop fighting. So when you like, all right, you want me to leave you alone? I'm gonna leave you alone.
You know why people, Steph? Since we took it there, right?
We took it there,
right? If I say leave me alone and you get offended by it, you should probably think about, well, why did he tell me to leave me alone like that? What is it about my behavior that even led us to leave me alone?
Well, what if it had nothing to do with you though? What if somebody says leave me alone and it's something about the job?
You know why? There's a difference, because by the time you get to leave me alone, he's not. Y'all are looking at this from the wrong perspective and the wrong idea. He's not saying he walked in the door. She said, "Hey, baby," and he said, "Leave me alone." That's not how that goes. It generally, leave me alone comes towards the end when you've already said, I just need a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got that now. I got that.
If
somebody keeps pushing you, I get that.
When
I
leave me alone,
100% get that.
Leave me alone comes after you've already said,
Right.
"I'm going in here. I need some time. I need
Right,
space."
right, okay.
And you go in the room and they coming right behind you. But why do you need space?
Right,
Why
I
can't
get
you talk
that.
to me?
And I
What's
just
wrong?
told you to leave me alone.
I
Leave
get
me
that
alone
now.
comes
I
after
100%. I 100% get that. Yep.
Go ahead.
Let me say something to you young folks here. After 36 years of marriage, you know what? Sometimes he doesn't even have to tell me to leave him alone, because in being in the relationship and learning each other, you just know each other. He doesn't even have to say the word. I know it by his action of the day or what has went through, that I may have something that I needed to tell him, but wisdom tells me, and as being in a relationship, and in a relationship you need to respect one another. Wisdom tells me, because I've seen what his day has been, you know what, I'm gonna tell him about that tomorrow. So you guys are talking about leave me alone, but you're also talking about respecting one another, and also like being in a marriage. Like, how long have you been married, Steff?
A little over 4 years.
So you've been married 4 years now. You were saying, oh, I didn't even know that she was mad at me. But you know what? Through time, you would know your wife. Like, you know when you done said a little something that done made her go that way. But it all goes along with being in a relationship. As that relationship matures, you're going to learn each other. So like how you guys are saying, well, why do I have to tell you to leave me alone? Or why do you got to do all this? You sort of learn each other as you are in that relationship. That's what relationship it is. It's really learning that person, knowing what makes them tick, what doesn't make them tick, what sort of turns them in a different way. And then the more important thing is knowing how to respond to those things and make the relationship go and be strong, is giving each other respect for who they are. That's the person that you married. That's the person you said. So definitely, I got that person. So hey, that's who you got. You got to learn to work with it. It's a work in progress. I think that the divorce rate is up. I'm going totally. The divorce rate is up because people don't want to take the time. I've been married 36, and I was 17. My husband was 19. We were babies. Knew nothing. We can go a while, right?
Third of the way to where
We
you
can
at.
go a while, but yeah, we were babies. But I definitely can say we just, I don't know. Through the grace of God and sort of respecting each other and learning each other, and
prayer,
me having his back, him having my back. That's how we got to the place where we are now. No, every day was not a bed of roses, and no, it wasn't. But having faith in God, having faith in each other, sort of respecting each other and all of that, it got us to where we are now. So you can learn to listen with your ears, but you can also listen with your eyes with the person that you're with.
Yeah, well, I mean, she might as well just drop the mic because there's nothing to even really say.
Words from a 36-year vet.
There's nothing to really say.
Been in the game for long.
All I'll say is, we got to go because we got 2 minutes left. In these last 2 minutes, I just want to let Monet take us out with a poem that's less than 2 minutes.
And the poem is called James Bond.
And 8 for 88.7 FM, 8 for 88.7 campaign. Make sure you join it, because that allows you to donate $8 a month to the station. And I'm telling you, if all y'all who are listening on the sound of my voice and who are even watching on Facebook, if you all donated $8 a month, it would help us tremendously because it really adds up. Go to wehavegospel.com for more information about that campaign. All right? God bless you. And we're going to let Monet take us out with 1 minute and 20 seconds.
All right, now. I'm going to take you out with a poem titled No Condemnation. We have lost our touch during service. No more testimonies, just preaching and seed sowing. We are spending too much time condemning. How do you judge somebody because you think they're sinning? You not add and subtract the truth. What is written in the word should be preached, not mute. There is no foundation when the bricks are loose. How can you have structure in the church then break God's rules? There is too much freedom with no accountability. People in and out of church hiding in the back looking silly. Then we have our youth in church falling asleep. You're feeding them the word, but what you serve, they cannot eat. We need to be more inviting. You can't save souls when half of your members aren't complying. When you are saved, you're supposed to be a light. So many Christians walking in darkness, ready to give up on life. We are losing too many souls. Many didn't make it to the altar because of what they have been told. Don't take the position for fame. Take the gift that God gave you and then make a change. No condemnation.